Oh, we were, but now we're back.
Back in the stew. We are stewing.
We are big stewing with a bigger guest, Carson Smith.
Episode 69.
The big 6'9".
Special
69.
request.
I made it.
Special request by the
episode
man.
69.
Yeah.
I'll
Dude.
be back for 169, 269. You already know.
I remember
Right,
this guy
keep it up.
texting me. He's like, yo, can I be on episode 69? I'm like, yes, you can.
We'll have you back for 169 too,
All right.
I'm honored.
just to keep
I'm
the streak
honored.
going.
I'm honored. I appreciate what you guys are doing here. It's good stuff. Good podcast.
Thank you very
so much. Thank you so much.
Honored to be here.
You do some great work yourself,
I was
man.
about to say, speaking
very
of good
much.
stuff,
Mhm.
Thank you.
would you
very
like
much.
to tell everybody a little bit about what you do? A little elevator pitch, perhaps, or we can
little elevator pitch?
enlighten the audience as to what you do.
Where's
What
your
do
name
I
from?
do? So I don't really do too much as of right now. I mean, I run a automotive event company called 70 Mile Saturday, as
Yes,
you guys
sir.
know.
Ooh.
70 MS.
And we host exotic car drives and rallies around California. Sometimes I go out of state if we're feeling a little frisky with it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, that's my passion project right now. I did some photography, some traveling. I don't know, I like to have fun.
And along
I
the
like that.
way,
Yeah.
This man is a big sender, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
big stories to tell here on the
His
podcast.
first impression was more like, yo, you could text this guy, yo, you down to just hit up Everest real quick? And he'll be like, yeah.
Exactly. I'd be down.
He's like,
Word
what
in.
day? Thursday? Thursday. How about Friday? Friday works. All right, cool.
I work Thursday. Friday's good.
I'll
Friday's
pick you up
good.
at 6.
That's what happened with Oregon, man. On literally this last Friday, my buddy Brandon texted me like, "Yo, I got a place in Oregon. Let's go." I'm like, okay, I'm not working Saturday, Sunday. Like, I was gonna go to Big Bear, but then he's
Mhm.
like, you know what? Oregon sounds better. Better snow. I'm
Yeah.
like, let's go. Let's do it.
Screw it.
And I started packing at 2:00 on Friday. Got on a flight at 4:30.
Wow.
I
Yes,
love
That
I
is
love that.
that is as spontaneous as can
Exactly.
be.
I love
Yeah.
spontaneity in people.
Yeah.
It's just
That's what's funny. Yeah, it means they took kind of a similar trip, but by car, I guess.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I love that. I love that you do that.
Spontaneous.
Yeah,
That's a good quality to have.
exactly. It's a different type of memory.
As they say, you only live once, right?
Might as well make it a good one.
Hey,
That's
who
the philosophy.
says? Is that a saying or a quote?
It's fucking both.
And speaking of
Okay.
memories,
Ooh,
we thought it'd be a good
Memories.
idea, just to get the flow going a little bit.
Oh,
We opened
yeah.
up your Instagram,
It's up.
did a little bit of a Sean Evans deep dive into some stuff. We'll put a link to his
Oh
Instagram
man,
down
Sean
below.
Evans. That guy's got a good show.
And for this first photo here, which we'll show on the screen for y'all in just a moment,
Sick.
but we got our boy Carson
That's not me. For
taking
reference.
a photo
Yes, that's my photo.
of a man who set a world record. Now, specifically, do you want to tell us like what kind of car it was, what you were even doing out
So
there?
I'm just gonna go over this photo first.
Mhm.
That's Nicholas Lilja. He is the fastest man in the world. He drove that car on the screen right here, a Koenigsegg Agera RS, one of 25 in the world,
Mm.
to 284 miles an hour on that exact road right there. And they took an average of both ways to like verify with Guinness, and then the average is 277. So that was a record for fastest car in the world. November 4th, 2017.
Wow.
Yes. I was invited out by a couple owners of other Koenigsegg's to just be there for the weekend and go through the process of, what it's like to break a record like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not you don't see that every day.
No, you
No,
don't get to
you
be at
don't.
those events every single day.
And speaking of there being a process, obviously you got to get there. And then
Yeah.
it's a whole ordeal just driving out to a place like this where you can actually break speed records
hmm
like this. So how did they manage to shut down such a large section of street in order to do this test?
So it was probably a year process. Jeffrey Chang was the ringleader behind it, and he worked with Pahrump Police Department.
That Pahrump.
This road is in Pahrump, Nevada. It's about, I don't know, 30, depends how fast you're driving, I guess.
277.
30 minutes to an hour west of Las Vegas. And this is an 11-mile dead straight. And so there's 2 lanes going one way, which is split, and then 2 lanes going another way. So they were able to close down the 2 lanes and then direct traffic going like one way and then like a 2-lane road on the other side
Mm.
while they're doing the record.
Wow.
So traffic was still moving.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't really like shut it down, I guess, but it was still moving. But this section of road right here was shut down. Yeah,
By
Damn.
the way, a stunning spec.
very good spec.
It's just
Just a
God, dude,
just a beautiful car.
that deep.
What would you
This is
call-
the actual video right here.
Got a little bit of footage of the man,
Ooh.
the myth and the legend breaking the speed record.
This is my perspective, yeah.
and they
Very
have the
nice.
drone
They got the
following.
drone. Yeah, that
And
drone's
there's helicopters too.
Gone. That drone is gone in about 5
Third.
seconds.
Fourth. You can
comes-
hear every single gear.
Jesus,
That was a
dude.
Wow.
long ass fourth gear. But I guess it has to be for
Dude, he
if you're
didn't
hitting
pin it
speeds like
until
that.
he was in 6th gear, going like 200 miles an hour. He was easing into it and then just
Goddamn.
went for it at like 200. If you watch the video, like the acceleration's pretty much linear all the way from 0 to like 250.
Mm.
And then it kind of like plateaus a little bit.
Now, this record has been broken, right? As of recent,
There's a lot of
speculation.
there's a lot of debate around that. Bugatti has broke the record on their private test track,
Mm-hmm.
but they only went one direction. And I
Okay.
think they went like 304, 5, 6, something like that miles an hour.
Mhm.
301, I think, was the official,
Is that it?
if I remember
Yeah, it was
correctly.
a little over 300.
Or
And
was
they-
it 303? I don't remember. Whatever. Anyways,
couple miles an hour over
Yeah.
300.
they broke the 300 barrier.
And
Yeah.
they did it going one way. It wasn't verified by Guinness or anything. And the car that they did it with is not in any customer's hands yet. This was a customer's car.
So
like,
that's
literally-
specifically what the record is about.
Yeah.
Customer car
Yeah.
speed run.
Production vehicle.
Production vehicle.
Gotcha.
There has to be 25 cars made by the company for it to be a production car. And there are 25 Agera RSs, which is neat.
And
Yeah.
then there was all that speculation about the American company that broke the record.
SSC.
Right? SSC. And do you think they did it legit, or was it proven to be fraudulent in a sense?
There's so many videos around
I
it on
know,
this you
right?
can find, but I mean, my opinion is they probably did do it. There's just no way to really verify it. And they used the same exact stretch of road. There was no, like I guess, computers in the car. Whatever they were using, it wasn't verifiable after the fact. So there was a lot of stuff going around. They
Yeah.
didn't do it. They did it.
So you
but-
mean like the ECU tune is up for or
No,
was
not
put
the
under
ECU,
discretion?
like the V box they put in it,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
which gets you all the telemetry data.
Mm.
Yeah,
Suspect.
Yeah.
a little
At
bit,
best.
a little bit. But they said they're gonna do it again somewhere else. And one of the guys that was here this weekend at that event, they offered to pay for the road closure for them to do it again and verify. it.
Wow.
And they
Wow.
turned it down.
Really?
Yeah,
It's kind of suspect.
a little bit, right? A little bit.
I mean, you already know your car can break it. Why not
Mm.
just go out and do it again? Right? That's the logic.
Shaking in their
That
boots,
is-
huh?
SSC. What's going on?
Little
Calling you out.
sus.
On the
That's
2 a.m.
what-
podcast, is calling out SSC.
And now we got another photo. What about
Ooh. Oh.
this
is
photo
dude,
right here?
This is my favorite car, I think.
Why is that,
Today.
Zaid?
Yeah, why is it your favorite car?
I just feel like it works with my personality.
How
I've never
so?
driven in it. I've never been in it. But I've always loved the Huracan. And the perf is just, it's stunning. Especially from what everyone who's been in it or has driven it
It's a
told me.
very solid car. Very, very solid car. So
And-
this car right here, this exact car, me and my buddy Charlie drove it nearly 10,000 miles from Orange County, basically like West Coast, all the way down to Key West, Florida, which is the most southern point in the United States of America, and all the way back to Orange County.
And for those that don't know, to put 10,000 miles on a car like this in one trip is relatively unheard of, at least in modern times. Like, nobody would fucking think to take a essentially track-focused version of an already batshit insane vehicle
Yeah.
Mm.
on a nationwide road trip. Not just around the state, not just around the park, a couple laps,
Cross
around
country.
whatever. Whole country.
3 weeks, 10,000 miles.
By the way, I love how you put Wuhan, China as the location.
How many tires did you guys go through?
Dude, it was the same set of tires the entire time.
You're joking.
Dead serious. Dead serious. There was
Wow.
the only time we ever had to go to any shop, anything, was in Texas We woke up in the morning. It was like 22 degrees outside. So the air kind of compresses or whatever. So the tire pressure was a little bit low. So we had to fill up a front tire. That was it. The only issue we had the entire trip with the car.
Yeah, you don't want low tire pressure on speed runs like that.
No. And then it was technically fine because it was just cold, but gotta do it.
Now, I'm curious, how comfortable is that car on a road trip like that?
This specific car has the comfort seats. You can option it with track seats or comfort seats, and we chose the comfort seats, obviously. And it wasn't horrible. The first day, there was no issues. Maybe later in the trip, lower back got a little
Got a little jiggy.
Had to get a pillow halfway through.
Yeah, I took a jacket off, put it below my lower back, got some lumbar support, and that was it.
That's amazing.
Damn.
That was all she wrote. But when you're going through these states, you're going to see some crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you got a lot of stories from a lot of places.
Yeah.
And I got 3 questions.
All right.
And I'll just list them off rapid fire, and you can take however long you want to answer them.
All right.
Favorite state that you visited, least favorite state you visited, and let's just say one of the craziest experiences you had on the trip.
So the craziest one, I don't think I want to share.
That's why I said one.
Fair enough.
Favorite state, I do love Utah. It's always probably been my favorite state.
Yes.
We dipped through southern Utah, did Zion National Park. One of the most beautiful places in the world, especially like, if not the United States, definitely, that I've been to. Least favorite state was New Mexico.
Oh, God. What happened?
So nothing that like what happened, this and that. It's just we get to Farmington, New Mexico. I don't want to talk shit on the town. It's a good little town. And my friend that I'm with, Charlie, he is British, English, and grew up in Hong Kong. And he has an English accent. And there's an Indian reservation that in Farmington in all of New Mexico. And they do not like the people across the pond. Yeah. Especially with an accent.
I wonder why.
Yeah, you can understand why if you know a little bit of history there. And we got there at like 9 o'clock in Farmington. We got to like a burrito spot, and someone asked us directly out of the way, like, hey, like, do you have a place for me to stay tonight? Like a homeless person. We're like, dude, like, I'm just trying to get some food. And we go to a gas station right after that. They're like, what are you doing in Farmington? Like, what are you doing here? We're just like, we're on a road trip. We're just passing through. We'll be gone in the morning. Like, oh no, like they were talking with us. Really cool people. Just a lot of questions about why are you in Farmington? Yeah. It's like, yeah.
That's insane.
We're leaving. Sorry.
Hinting at, get the fuck out of Farmington.
But yeah, beautiful state. A lot of mountains. It goes from mountains to hills as you go from west to east.
In New Mexico?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it goes kind of from like more twisties to straight shot, and we were moving pretty good through New Mexico. Didn't see a single New Mexico cop the entire time we were there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not one.
Not a single New Mexico cop.
Well, you think that's a bit of luck, or?
Yeah. Actually, no, we did. We did see a cop, but it was at the Best Buy in where was it? The capital. What's the capital of New Mexico? Albuquerque?
Santa Fe? Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, yeah.
I think so.
Dude, it gave some Breaking Bad vibes for sure.
Ooh.
And so this was day 1, day 2 of the trip. The first 2 days, we did not have a cop radar. So we went to Best Buy in Albuquerque, got one. As we were walking out, there was a cop in front of Best Buy.
How funny.
Oh my God.
And we're like holding the radar, like, gotcha. Yeah,
Gotcha, bitch.
That was great. After that, smooth sailing.
Do you know what color this is, by the way?
Verde Hydra.
Damn.
Dude.
This is my favorite color. When it comes to color grading anything, or doing anything, I tried it as much as possible to infuse that color. It's so, dude, it's just
shimmery green.
To me, that with gold.
Green like that.
And the rims are just
like a nice tinge of blue hidden in there in the mix to really bring it out.
A little fun fact about this car. This was the first Performante to roll off the production line.
Wow.
And for those who are unaware of what a Performante is, Huracan, Lamborghini.
Huracan,
do a Google
Lamborghini.
search.
Huracan.
This is a Lamborghini Huracan Performante.
Yeah.
For those who are uneducated in the subject. Now, last question about this car. I imagine as you're rolling through these states, it demands a lot of attention to be in a vehicle such as this. Now, were there any states where you got significantly more looks than anywhere else that you can remember off the top of your head?
I would say the states like New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, Alabama.
Texas?
Alabama,
Really?
definitely.
I understand
It's like
that.
the states where you don't really have a lot of money and a lot of cars like this is where you get the most looks.
And a follow-up question, like, does the attention at a point, at least in this car, I don't know, maybe you can let me know, was it a bit much at times?
No.
Like, for example, when you hear dudes talk about they bought a Chiron or they bought a Pagani, they bought a Koenigsegg, it's a lot of attention to the point where some people report stories of people following you down the road and asking you questions like, what do you do for money? Or how'd you get this car? Stuff like that.
So, I mean, this car kind of flies under the radar because it's the color that it is. If it were orange, yellow, bright green, something like that, it would be a lot more eye-grabbing. And a lot more people would be like, oh, this, that, like, what's going on here? What's this car? What do you do? Can I have a ride? You know, all the good questions that come along with it. But here in where we live in Orange County, if someone has a Bugatti, something like really crazy, and kids know about it, they're gonna be like all over it because you don't see them ever. But like this, it kind of flew under the radar a little bit.
As much as you can, and
as much as you can. Yeah.
Usually with hypercars, you see people circling it and just
Yeah.
snapping pictures and stuff.
That's true.
I mean, yeah, considering that it is what it is, it flew under the radar for sure.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a sexy green.
So it's a good getaway car.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. I forgot to mention, the day one before we ever had the cop radar, we got pulled over.
You're kidding.
No, we did. I wasn't driving, thankfully.
Any tickets?
Yeah, that one ticket.
Only one.
Only one.
Damn.
It was.
Can you say what it was for?
Yeah, we were going through a Valley of Fire area, nice wide open state park. We were moving through there, and then we're like, okay, like we've tested our luck. We've gotten away with everything. Let's just chill a little bit. Speed limit's 55. We're approaching a little town. Going 55, right? It's cruising. Not getting a ticket. We're done with the speed. We're done. No more tickets. None of that. And then the speed limit, all of a sudden, we didn't see it, drops to 20.
What the hell?
55 to 20. And then right after the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit sign, there's a bend in the road. And then trees and everything so you can't see. And then there's a cop right behind the bend in the road.
Of course.
And then we get pulled over in this town, this little tiny town in Nevada. And there's kids on bikes and scooters all like, oh my God, look, Ferrari.
Oh
and I'm just thinking like, it's a Lambo.
Wow.
Yeah.
55 and a 20. Good Lord.
See, here's the thing. If we were mobbing and we got pulled over, I'd be like, okay, you know what? We deserved a ticket. You know, we got this. We'll cool down now. But this was such bullshit.
Yeah, you're not going 160 and like...
I know.
Yeah,
But,
I get
we
it.
got to live with it.
No, that's like a whole bigger conversation to have, though, about how speed limits, especially here in California and some other states in the East Coast, I believe Pennsylvania has ridiculously strict laws when it comes to speeding. But for example, like here in California, you have to know your area pretty well if you want to drive fast, right?
Yeah.
You got to know where all the speed limits changes are. You got to know where cops could potentially hide, because you could run into a situation like this where you don't know the area very well. You may have been through there once or twice, but they could have put a whole new sign up in a matter of years, right? Where it drops from 55 to 20. That is designed to be a speed trap.
It's a trap.
It's nothing else.
It's a trap.
That cannot be anything else, because, I mean, what is it? Residential zones, like where you live and also go to school, 25 miles an hour. So for them to purposely put 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And was it designated as a school zone?
Nope.
Yeah, that's designed to fuck you
Of
over
course,
on
of
purpose.
course.
You know, and I feel like that's just a little bit unfair to motorists, because all it does is cause an annoyance, and at the same time, it just gets us more into trouble.
They got to reach their quota, man.
Yeah, I guess
Exactly what I was thinking.
They got to reach their quota. They got to do it somehow.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
time
it
to
sucks.
adjust the quota. Or better yet, find a
Maybe.
different way to make money, so you just don't have to
Maybe.
keep ripping off your citizens.
You can draft up a petition and then we'll all sign it.
Well, it's the whole question of my dad actually raises this a lot. He likes to drive, right? He's no stranger to
Slouch
speed.
behind the wheel.
Slouch behind the wheel, stranger to speed, things like that, right? However, he always asks the question, why is it that our speed limits here are 65, yet we're allowed to have cars that can now do over 300 miles an hour?
Yeah.
You can't even use them. And in fact, for some of these cars, if you were to just leave it in first gear, you could rev it out all the way and probably be at the speed limit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these cars are a lot built for track use.
Yes, but I mean, like even in a fucking
Or
like a
they're
Mercedes.
also European cars where the Autobahn is a thing.
Yeah, but I mean, like the E63S, for example, you're not even halfway up second gear, and you're already breaking the speed limit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so why isn't it that?
So I actually have a good counter argument to this,
All right.
and it goes with confidence. If you know your car can do it, and you're driving down the road, even if you're going 65, 70, whatever it is, and you know your car can do it, it just builds a good feeling inside of you. Am I wrong?
No, you're
No,
right.
you're not wrong.
That's why Rolls Royces have 600, 700 horsepower. You're
You're
never
right.
going to use it,
Mm-hmm.
No,
but you know you can, right? It's like,
that's
It's-
true,
it's-
but
yeah, it's instant adrenaline for your car.
yeah.
Just fucking-
And whenever you want to, it's there.
Mhm.
It's not like, oh, I wish I had a better, faster car. It's like, I have it. I can use it up to the speed limit legally.
Legally.
Yeah.
no, but my point is, right? Why is it that for things such as at least in California, things like the 73, the 241, the 133, you have to pay money to use those. Hence why they're called toll roads.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's a road you have to pay a toll for in order to grant or to get access to it, right? Why is it that those roads, which are constantly being repaved, they're always very nice, why isn't it that they go a little bit farther, you could pay just a little bit more money for an annual membership, and then maybe one of the lanes gets designated to be like
This guy
the
really wants
Autobahn
the
lane,
system to change.
Hey, you know what? I'm right with you.
right?
I agree.
Like you
I
go
wish
through,
we could do
you
that.
go through special courses. There's only one lane where it's allowed to be crazy. It's well maintained because you have to pay for it. So
Yeah.
But you do know the quote or the saying, whatever you guys want to call it. Laws are made for the 1% of people who are just idiots.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about it.
Of course, someone ruined something.
Everyone has to ruin it. Not
Yeah.
everyone, but like
Not everyone.
someone has
Someone
to ruin
has to
it
ruin-
for everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah,
Sadly.
I just think it's a joke when you're on your way out to like Vegas or something like that, and there's a stretch of the freeway where it's 55 miles an
Yeah.
hour and it's dead straight for fucking
Yeah.
30, 40
You know what else is a
miles.
joke? California gun laws, but we'll get to that later.
That is a joke. You are
It is. It
correct.
really is. But
What's our next one?
Next photo. All right. Yeah, let's move on. Ooh,
Oh.
this is a solid one right here. Carson, would you like to explain to us what's happening in this photo?
So I'm hanging out of a car,
Road.
taking a picture of two crazy hypercars.
And what are they? What's that one in the back?
That is the same one that broke the record, but just a different car. It's a Koenigsegg Agera RS.
That's one of my favorite specs.
Full carbon with gold, like 24 karat gold accents.
Yeah, that's sick.
Real.
Actual
Real.
24 karat gold
Okay.
accents, yeah.
That's
Jesus.
a flex. Good
And there's a big
Lord.
story behind that car in itself. I mean, it was originally made for a customer. They were testing it on the Nürburgring. It crashed, burned, the whole deal. They built this car for him, and then he sold it to Mike, which is the current owner of the car
Hmm.
in that picture.
God.
And Mike
Yeah.
also owns this bad boy, right?
No, he
Oh,
does
wait. No, this
not.
was one of his friends, right?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, my bad. But go ahead. Tell us what this is for those that don't
That's
know.
a Bugatti
God
Chiron.
damn,
It's
dude.
a crazy car.
Yeah, no
It's
kidding.
the fastest car I have ever driven.
And so,
Wow.
how does 1,500
This guy.
horsepower, right around there?
1,600 horsepower.
Oh, sorry, 1,600 horsepower. of
Stand
freedom
corrected.
fuel. Just in one go. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong. W16,
Yes,
4 turbos,
correct. All-wheel drive.
all-wheel drive.
Does this one have 2 keys?
Yes,
It does?
it has a speed key. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I believe the
Oh.
speed key was in when I was driving it because they don't carry the other key around. They only carry the speed
I would do
key.
the same thing.
Is this what they call technology?
Tecnología.
And so there's a story behind when I
Technología.
drove this car, actually. We were doing a photo shoot. If you want to pull up actually that picture as well, when I'm like laying in between everything, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I can pull that up.
A big photo shoot with Mike's cars and then the other owner's cars in Mike's place. And we were going to dinner afterwards.
Damn.
Yep.
That's a
What a
sick
picture.
photo.
And so we were going to dinner afterwards, somewhere about like 45 to an hour away. And Mike was driving the red car on top, and the other owner did not like to drive his cars. Like, he just doesn't like to drive his cars. He has these crazy cars and does not enjoy driving them for some weird reason.
Does he
right?
just not enjoy driving?
I'm not sure.
Or does he like whip a Civic?
Here's the thing.
all the
I would have
time,
asked him, Logan. I really would have asked him, but he doesn't speak English.
No
say
English.
That like I'm supposed to know that. Like, you say that like it's common knowledge,
right?
Yeah.
No, yeah. The owner of that Bugatti does not speak English, and he did not like to drive his cars. So Mike was saying something in Chinese to him right before we're about to leave for dinner, and then the guy says, "Yeah, okay," like in whatever language, Chinese, Mandarin. I don't even know what he said, but Mike goes over to me. He says, "Hey, can you drive him to dinner in his Bugatti?" I like kind of pause for a second, like, what? Like, why would I do that? And I'm like, absolutely, yes. Like, sign me up. Thank you. And so we go to dinner. I hop in this guy's Bugatti. Like, this is crazy, right? This guy doesn't even speak English. And then I'm following Mike in a LaFerrari, and I'm pulling onto the freeway, and Mike rips it. Absolutely rips it. And I like look to the guy, like give him a thumbs up. He gives me the thumbs up.
We're good to go.
A little bit, and then boom, we're off. The fastest thing I've ever experienced.
How does that feel?
I felt like a passenger. I didn't feel like I was driving the car.
Holy shit.
Like, it felt so fast that it's like you don't even know what's going on.
Damn.
Yeah. It was kind of scary, but I got comfortable with it, and then
damn.
I just
yeah.
When I think of when I think of a car like a Bugatti Chiron, obviously horsepower's nuts. The driving experience is nuts, but in particularly alongside the horsepower is the torque.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me, that's what comes to mind. That sensation of just being launched back in your chair.
Yeah.
It's a constant torque. Is that what it is?
Is it akin to a roller coaster or more insane?
Way more insane.
So Saeed asked a great question right now. Does it just feel like it's always pulling at you when you're running?
It's just constant torque.
Just does not stop.
I probably got to like 140, maybe 150 on the freeway in Mexico. I mean, it feels it's the same acceleration from like 40 to 80 as it is from 110 to 150. It feels the same.
That is just retarded.
It
dude.
feels the same pull.
Bro,
Ridiculous.
that is something I need to experience one day, but
yeah.
We'll get to that later.
That's a life goal for me, is to take a ride or to drive one of those. I absolutely love Bugatti. I know they're ridiculous, and I guess
ridiculous for the right reasons.
Exactly. That's where I was trying to get to. There's just everything about them is design, engineering, and technical prowess all wrapped up. Oh, and a shit ton of passion, all just wrapped up into one package, which is it's got one of the most badass logos in the car game on it.
And that's
Bugatti.
Bugatti Veyron, right?
They are racing excellence. Their heritage lies with racing, great engineering, victory. And
even though they haven't really done much racing recently, if any. Not. But I would relate that car to a Bentley, to be honest.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's like a super Bentley. It's like a hyper Bentley. Yeah.
Shit.
And the way that I was talking to Logan earlier, it gives you confidence. You can drive it like a normal car. It's comfortable. It's soft. It's easy. It's a Volkswagen. It's owned by Volkswagen.
Yeah.
And it's just got 1,600 horsepower.
And it has none of those VW problems we spoke about last episode.
But the services are nightmares and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What is it like for like a
just
standard service?
Just look at Stradman. He's got a Bugatti, and he shows all about the money behind the services and what it's like to own one and the whole thing.
It's a nightmare.
Stradman, James, plugging you.
Stradman.
On to the next.
Let's get you on here. So the next photo we're going to pull up. All right. This is a good segue.
Chianti.
Chianti, yes.
Speaking of originally Italian car companies that went French and then German, we got a picture of Carson and his brother on two Vespas in Castellina Chianti.
I love this
Chianti. Sorry, I'm white. Not
check
from
your
Italy.
white. Check your white privilege.
Yes. I mean, we were wine tasting in Italy there on Vespas.
That's
probably had a
sick.
little. Oh yeah, look at this video.
Holy shit!
I always find a way to scare my parents here. They're right behind it, obviously.
This is Forza stuff right here. Except you don't have a Vespa.
Yeah,
that is beautiful.
Why? That's actually so dangerous.
Oh, I know. And I'm like crossing. Look at the car. The car
Bro,
almost
what
hits
the
me,
hell?
dude. I know.
You're insane.
We got one video of me driving the thing, and it was when a car almost got me. If there's volume on, you can hear the car honking too.
Dude, you were like a foot and a half away from getting hit.
Listen.
Just that honk.
I like how you can hear you go by like choo.
Yeah, it ain't no Bugatti, but it is red.
So like, just based off this photo alone,
Mhm.
you're well traveled.
Yeah.
You've been places. You
I've
know,
been a few countries.
just a few. Would you like to name a few of those aside from Italy?
Let's start with Italy, I guess. Bali, Singapore, Hong Kong isn't really a country, but it's a place.
It
Mhm.
isn't. It's complicated right
It's
now.
complicated.
complicated right
It's
now,
very
okay.
complicated.
Like a bad relationship. It's complicated.
Mexico, might be going to Canada at some point this year.
That's a maybe.
Yeah, it's like a half finger.
It's a halfer.
I think that's actually it.
But they're unique places. They're
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I've been. It's not like the ones that everyone has gone to.
Oh, like
I
I've
mean-
been to Austin.
Yeah. Austin, Texas.
I've been
That's
to
not a
Colorado.
country.
That's
Might
me
as-
traveling, dude.
Texas might as well be its own
Yeah.
country.
Straight up.
That's down.
Let's run through these.
What did you? Do you have a thing when you travel? Like there's a must do.
So
Every
when I
place.
travel, what I like to do is kind of get into the culture. I don't like to go there and do my own thing that I've been doing at home. I like to be a part of the culture that I'm living in.
Yeah.
And
Love it.
dive deep. Don't live in luxury hotels. Live kind of like on your lowest means possible,
Mhm.
because that's where you get the experience of that culture.
That's true. I need to do that.
hmm
Sorry, what was that little phrase you told me? It's like the mentality you take everywhere you travel.
I wish I could remember this right now.
I think it was something along the lines of
Just do
leave
it.
the places you visit better off
Yes.
than when you got there.
Yes. Always. I mean, I don't know how to say this right now, but wherever you go, leave it a better place than when you found it. Yes. Whenever you travel.
I'm gonna quote you on that one.
And so that story you were telling me about that time you were in Mexico, about the job that you picked up.
I didn't pick up a job in Mexico.
I thought you told me you picked up a little like job thing in Mexico where you're helping
No.
these dudes out at a... What?
Wait, keep going. Maybe it'll spark a memory here.
I thought it had something to do with you were at one of the distilleries.
Got
like,
his
for-
W-2 in Mexico.
Yeah, no, I didn't pick up any job at a
Well, not
distillery.
it was like a one time or like a one day thing, and it was like just a little means for you to help around or something like that. And you're like, that was my way of helping out or making the place better off than when I left it.
You know, I don't think I did that.
It's not
Logan.
clicking for him.
Yeah.
Damn.
Bygones be bygones.
Because the only reason you brought up that phrase in the first place was because you told me this story about how you were like helping people do something in Mexico, and then you're like, yeah, I try to.
I'm always helping people out when I'm traveling. In some way, in one way or another, I like if I see something that like or a group of people that needs something, or they just need a little bit of good energy in their lives, I'll bring it.
Respect.
That's
I don't
down.
know.
That is down.
Give people tips. Always tip well when you travel.
Mhm.
Always tip well
Means
when
a
you travel.
lot more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
$5 or whatever, $20 to you on a tip is nothing compared to what it is to those people.
Seriously,
Nothing.
especially in other countries like outside of the U.S. Because here it's pretty standard.
Yeah.
You're gonna tip. Like the average is what? It's supposed to be 15%, but
Mhm.
realistically 10 to 12, somewhere in that neighborhood.
hmm
But then you go to places like, for instance, Japan. They will not accept your tip. They're not
Oh.
allowed to.
Really?
No.
Culture type
Yeah,
of thing.
some cultures are like that. It's actually surprising. Like a tip is kind of like an insult.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like
It-
I am
it
here to
makes people
serve you.
seem
What the
like,
hell are you
oh,
doing?
Like they're better
Yeah.
than me, maybe, or like a.
Something like
No,
that.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's-
more of like a we're all on the same level here. Come on.
I
you
think
know?
it's more of like an insult kind of, at least in Japan, right? Because the way that they view working is you need to give 100% all the fucking time,
Mhm.
right? You are bringing your A game 100%. So the thought of you giving them a tip in order for them to provide you better service is what I think they find insulting. Because they're
Possibly,
like,
yeah.
I'm already on top of my
Yeah.
game,
Mm.
and I know that. You don't have to tell me. I don't need your petty change for me to do better because I'm already doing my best.
I get
Petty.
You know?
I get it.
Bitch. Not kidding.
Just, no petty change.
But yeah, I imagine
Yeah.
places like Mexico or Bali, right?
Yeah.
that little $5, $6, or I mean, maybe you had a really big dinner and it's like $10 or $12, something like that. That means a lot to people.
It means a lot to you too, because you leave also feeling better about yourself, that you've helped people out in a way that you couldn't really do with the same amount at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
True.
You're actually right. Yeah.
Giving is one of the best highs out there.
Dude,
I'll tell you that.
seriously.
Why do you think so many rich people are doing it, other than tax evasion?
And it hurts when you see someone, like you give someone something and then they throw it away.
Oh, dude.
Fucking
That's
hate-
the worst.
Oh, I know
I
that
hate that.
story.
You know that story?
Yeah, I know it.
I do not know this story.
Dude, there's this homeless guy that used to always kind of just like chill by the pizza place I used to go to. And I was with my buddy, and he was like, man, I feel bad for this guy. We see him all the time. We should probably buy him something. We're like, all right, cool. So he's just chilling there. We waited out for the whole pizza, right? 15, 20 minutes, whatever it takes. We grab it, we give it to him, and we're like, hey, man, you know, God bless you. Hope you work through this, you know? And then he takes it and goes, ugh, walks to the trash can and just dunks it in there.
Wait, did he ask for the pizza?
No.
Okay, that might be a reason why.
But I mean,
Because
But he's a homeless guy.
You're giving him
It's about
something.
I
survival.
know you're giving him
Dude,
something, but in
it's
his
a thank you.
in
You say
his
thank you.
mind, he might be like, you know what? Fuck you. I don't need this shit.
I get that too.
You know?
Yeah.
I think that's where he's coming from.
I don't
because
know. I felt like it was more like it was mental illness, but
Yeah, everyone's on their different path.
yeah, so you have no idea.
Yeah.
But like, I was just like, what the damn, I could have had one more slice. You know, like,
I could have eaten that shit. That
Whatever,
reminds me
but-
of a story in Boston, right? Like I was walking into this 7-Eleven because I needed to get this Metro card, right? They sell them at random places over
Yeah.
there. Makes no
Mhm.
sense. But walked in to get this card, and as I was walking in, this dude said, "Hey man, can you grab me a soda?" I'm like, "Yeah, what you want?" And he's like, "I'll take anything. I love them all." I'm like, "Okay." So I go in the back, and I just grab the most, I guess, kind of ubiquitously loved soda, which would be like Coke. Like just plain Coke.
Can't go wrong, right?
Yeah,
Everyone
it's
loves- everyone
plain
loves
Coke. You know,
Yeah.
it's about as American as it gets in terms of soda. I buy this man the largest Coke that they have there, which isn't the 2-liter, but the step below.
Yeah.
And then I get my card and I walk out and I hand him the Coke. And he grabs it and he's like looking at it and he doesn't look happy. And I was like, "Oh shit, man, like, I'm sorry." I'm like, "You good? Like, you like your soda?" And he's like, "Man, I don't fuck with Coke. You think you could go back in and get me something else?"
I'm a Pepsi guy, motherfucker.
Oh my god, he
You could've
says
said that.
anything will do.
Yeah.
Anything,
Nope,
no,
nope.
not just anything will do. I love them all.
That's why you have to be specific
I love it all.
when you ask for something.
Yeah.
All right, we have what? 2 more
Sorry,
here?
can you go back and get me something else for free? This motherfucker, man. Oh yeah. Here we got a little clip
Oh,
of
baby.
Damien from Daily Driven Exotics.
In Mexico,
Ooh.
by the way.
But more
Yes.
importantly,
Location tagged Mexico.
we got our boy Carson
So what's up with this one?
driving something crazy.
Jesus.
So, what's the story here, Carson?
So, right here in this video, there's not really much of a crazy story. But I guess afterwards, after all the filming was kind of over, there is a story.
Okay. Well, how did you end up in a car like this and driving? And what kind of car is it?
This is a it's a Mansory Lamborghini Aventador Roadster.
Mansory.
Full straight pipe.
Wow.
And it's Mike's car again. Mike and I are buddies, and he lets me drive some of his cars sometimes because he knows just how much I love doing it and how much it means to me.
Beautiful.
Just like if I were ever a exotic car owner, which I will be one day, mark my words,
Sir.
then I would love to have, show kids the car because it does so much for them up in their head. Like it shows that it's possible. It shows all this other stuff. But that's another story.
This is Carson's "This Can Be You" ad.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, seriously, if you have a nice car, let the kid sit in it, let him rev it, let him do whatever it is. Like, it will do so much for that kid's life if he really loves cars. It really will.
Opens the mind.
It really will.
Yeah.
Now that sorry, let me ask you a question before you dive into this story.
Yeah.
Because you just said if they really love cars. Can you tell the difference? I mean, you don't
You can
own an
see
exotic
it, you
now,
can see
but
it in
like
their eyes. You can see it in the kids' eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, because I feel like there's a lot of kids out there that just want to take it for the gram, get it on the Snapchat.
Yeah,
that
that's
they're
like
revving it.
that's the ones that
You can tell who those people
You can
are.
really tell. You can see right through it.
Okay, that was my question.
And
Is
usually,
it obvious?
usually it's like the younger kids, the ones that haven't really seen anything like this before. It's kind of like it's really new to them. They're opening a whole new world to these kids by doing that.
It's true. That's some real shit, right?
So now into the story. We were done filming everything. Damon is showing Mike his twin turbo Huracan, doing some rips up and down the street. Did a first gear, like, anyways. I don't want to go too much into detail of what Damon did, but there was a cop, and Damon drove by the cop without knowing, and then we radioed to Damon like, "Yo, keep going down the road. There is a cop." So then he goes down the road. He hides out a little bit, parks in the dark place in a little neighborhood, and then so we're left with two cars, the Aventador and the Urus. And it's me, Landon, and a couple. Landon was on the podcast.
Yes, he
I don't know what
was.
episode he was, but
Landon
he was on the
Valentine?
podcast.
Big Landy.
And I was driving this car. Landon was driving the Urus, and we were kind of scouting out for the cop to make sure that Damon is okay to like go a different way back home, so he doesn't like get stopped. And so we're scouting out. We're like, okay, coast is clear, Damon, you're good to go. He goes. We kind of go back to the same spot where the cop first saw Damon, and then we're parked on the side of the road. And then the cop comes back around and he pulls behind us, lights on, the whole deal.
Fuck.
And we're like, shit, like, okay, he didn't see me do anything in the car. Like, he can't pull me over for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Comes up, license, registration, give my license, find a registration somewhere in the car. I'm with Max Showstack. And, I mean, the guy's like, whose car is this? I'm like, it's Mike's. Like, do you know where Mike lives? Like, yes. Like, okay, you need to go back there right now. Take the car back. I'm like, okay. Landon's in the Urus driving it. And so me and Landon, like best buds of like forever, are pulled over in Lamborghinis, which we don't even own. Like with 5 other people there. And we're just like, okay, like we got to do something about this. And then the cops decided to follow us back to the house. We said, no, we don't need that. I turn on the car, and this is a straight pipe Lamborghini, and it's the loudest startup ever. And the cops is like, you can see him shaking his head back there, like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
this
Fucking
thing's
hell.
not legal. It's the car honestly should not be passing smog because it's so loud. But yeah, followed us back, and Damon got away. We made it off home scot free.
Wow.
Shout out to Damien for running, or I mean, getting
Damn,
away
dude.
with it.
Yeah, he didn't know. He just kept going, and then we radioed in like, "Yo, go somewhere to park, lay low for a bit."
Mm-hmm.
That's some wild stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like emotionally invested in this right now. That's how I feel. I'm like,
It's just like
God damn, dude.
there's just so much going on. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to use the word overstimulating because I'm enjoying it so much. But
It's-
I mean, like, it's like, oh yeah, I was in this Chiron, I was in this Pagani, I was in this Koenigsegg, I was driving this SV, I was driving.
I love it because only a handful of people can say that.
Yeah,
can
right?
Say about
Yeah.
This, can talk about this.
It's just a part of your life, and which leads me to my question: how did you get into this?
That is a great question. That is a good question. It started from just a pure passion for cars when I was younger.
Mhm.
Started playing Need for Speed, started playing Midnight Club, all the good PS2 racing games they were, and got really into cars. And then my mom had a couple clients that had like a SLS F430,
Yeah.
and then she knew how much I loved cars, so she like took me to go see them. And then that's when like that spark I was saying like
Mhm.
really clicked for me. It's like, wow, like cars are awesome. I
Everything,
love
yeah.
cars. And then started going to Cars and Coffee Irvine
Good days.
when I was in sophomore year of high school.
I probably
was
saw. I
then.
probably saw you there then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that was such a
Those are
good show.
good
I used to roll up in
Such a good show.
Yeah.
Oh
Loved
my
it.
god, Cars and Coffee Irvine. There will never be a car show as good as that show ever.
For sure. For
Ever.
sure.
One entrance in, one exit out.
Yeah. And they stopped it now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone all over the place in Orange County now.
Damn.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Cars and Coffees, aren't there not? 'Cause-
There's one in Aliso now. No, that's not there anymore. It's San Clemente.
Wait, they got rid of the Aliso one?
It's San Clemente now.
Since when?
Wow.
A couple of years ago.
They're just
Are you
cracking down.
serious?
Oh yeah.
Jesus. That Aliso
went-
one was like, I remember going to that as a kid.
Oh, that started after Irvine, probably 2016, 17. I want to say. Yeah,
Are you sure? You're talking about the one in front of the theater?
yeah.
I don't know about that, Chief.
Maybe
it might
there
have
was
had
one earlier.
It might have
but
had a different name, but
I
I'm
don't
telling
know.
you, I've been going to car shows in front of that theater since I was a child.
Really?
Yeah, and there was never any of the modern like
It's probably
sports cars.
different
There
name
probably
then.
It was
were
like-
classic car shows in front of that area, and then they probably liked the area so much they moved the big show there. That would make a
Mhm.
lot of sense.
That would make sense.
Anyways,
Huh.
it all started from going to car shows.
Yeah.
I picked up a camera, started posting pictures on Instagram. If you scroll down all the way, you'll see like some of the old stuff. At actually Cars and Coffee Aliso, one of my first pictures. Man, this goes down really far.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you've
It's-
been
it's-
posting
it's
for
just
quite a
cars,
while now.
Yeah, that's Cars and Coffee Aliso there.
Oh my god.
Ooh, stance, dude. Look at that.
Hinghwa Lee Plaza, dude.
Yes,
I've been there a
yes.
couple
Hinghwa
times.
Lee
It's
is-
so,
oh man,
those were good days.
dude, good memories of guacs after that.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Rest in peace.
Wow.
So yeah, this right here, this is how it all started. Just taking photos and posting them on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and then networking with people through Instagram, and like, hey, can I shoot your car?
Just get the ball
And then
rolling.
start to get the ball rolling, meeting
Yeah.
people, start shooting better cars, cooler cars, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. I really like where this is taking me. Meeting a lot of really neat people, experiencing stuff that you wouldn't experience if you hadn't done this stuff, right?
It doesn't get better than that, man.
That
Nice.
comment. Nice.
Very
It's
nice.
from Charger fan.
That was my first photo on my current account, which was almost 5 years or 5 years to the day.
Oh
Wow.
shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Good lord. Where does the time go, man?
I had an account before that too. I was posting on for 2 years probably.
Back in 2014.
Yeah, it was a joint account between guess who?
You and Landon.
Me and Landon.
Wait, what was that one called?
SoCal Whips.
Oh, I remember.
I
I remember
remember
that
that
one.
one.
Whips. Yep.
Oh shit. Memory lane.
First photo was a Hellcat?
On this account, yeah.
Damn.
That's funny.
We have one more to go through.
I mean, I'm not done with the story of how I
yeah,
got
no,
into
he's
it.
let's let him finish this story before we move on to another.
Hell yeah.
I mean, going to car shows, meeting people, and then one thing leads to another. You start meeting more people, and then that's how I got invited to Nevada for the speed run. Start meeting these people. The biggest central hub for meeting people though is at Car Week, Monterey Car Week,
Yeah.
Mm.
every year. That's where I met Charlie, my friend who I did the road trip with. That's how I've solidified a lot of friendships and relationships is through that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. Because I
Gotta
mean,
love it.
there it's all about community. It's about the cars too, but it's about the people more. At least
Yeah.
in my books.
Mm.
RWBs are beautiful.
So nut.
Yeah.
They're just so crazy.
Damn, dude.
Good lord.
That
Look at
wing is
work.
insane.
And you know, I love the history of RWB too. Like that original drift movement in Japan that was started by what's his name? I'm totally blanking.
The creator of RWB,
Yeah, what's his name again?
Nakai.
Yeah. Dude, he used to modify old Toyota Trunos, which
Yeah.
like that was the first whip. It never started with Porsche with RWB. In fact, it actually had a different name before RWB, and I'm totally
Mhm.
blanking on what it was. It was something German. And then, you know, they had these Trunos, which are like just tiny little Toyotas, right? Nothing super special or anything crazy. In fact, they're pretty low powered and their gearing is super long. It's an economy car, but the Truno was kind of the more sporty version, I guess. I believe it was a Celica. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
If I remember
Yeah.
correctly, but
Mm.
Celica was a decently sporty car.
yeah, and you can modify the shit out of them. They'd actually be pretty decent, but
Dude, my uncle had one, and he took us to school in it in like 4th and 5th grade.
really.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
whip.
This is the original cars that RWB used to modify, and they would put these skinny little bicycle tires on them, stance the fuck out of them.
Mm.
These like the wheels would be going out past the fender flares. They
Oh
were
my God.
cambered like fucking crazy. And then they used to put out these videos of them just drifting around corners, getting completely sideways in these things. Because that's what these things are good at doing,
Yeah.
is getting sideways. That's what they love to do. For some reason, even though they don't have a lot of power, they can drift fairly well. There you go.
Yep.
Initial D. I mean, that was
That is sick.
that was the car of the show. But God,
Wow. Look at
Man,
that
I-
little Micro Center freaking logo.
And you know
Micro
what?
Center.
Some people think RWB in the world of Porsche is a sin. Primarily the purists think that, but here's how I like to look at it. The car is obviously special and it's loved by millions, right?
It's beautiful.
It's just a canvas though for somebody like the guy at RWB.
Yeah.
It's just a blank canvas, and how can I make this my thing?
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, this is how crazy this fucker is. He will get the fender flares and stuff made, right? And then obviously he has to cut out sections of the fenders to actually attach it, so it makes sense to push the wheels out so wide. He does all of these modifications to these cars with hand tools.
Yeah, he does all of
Wow.
it by hand.
Almost none of it is precision made stuff in terms of like, precision parts cutting the actual body panels. He doesn't remove body panels and stuff like that when he modifies them. He just takes a handsaw
Yeah.
and then he just cuts.
Does he teach other people to do the
nope,
same?
he's the only one that does it. The guy
No, he has
is
a
the
he has a
only
little
one.
team of people.
Does he?
Yeah.
As a
At
few
lea-
years ago, he didn't though.
At least in the videos that I've seen of him building these, there's like 4 or 5 people there working on
That
the
are
car.
also cutting the car as well.
I don't know about cutting, but they're working on it
Mm.
for sure.
That is wild.
Yeah, he'll like shape all the fenders and do all of it, and it matches perfectly on both sides every single time.
That is insane.
It's always
He's a true
symmetrical.
master.
so
Yeah.
accurate.
He's
Yeah.
a master of his work. For
His
sure.
philosophy when he approaches these is, I trust my eyes and I cut.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he just knows what he's doing. He's done so many of them for so many years. And I love how he works with the client on every single vehicle to make sure it's exactly what they want it to look like. Because there's RWBs that look like this, right? That are bananas, where they have the 3-level
Wing.
rear spoiler.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a wing on that thing that has 3 levels. I mean, it really kind of looks like one of those.
Not even functional. It's just for looks.
Yeah, it really is. It's like that wing that one of those cars had in the first movie Cars. You remember that? Those like 4 totally tuned, specced out, like
Was it green or blue? One of those.
yeah. I mean, there was like
Yeah.
green, blue. Then there was the Charger, which was like a
Yeah.
complete reference to freaking Torettos and Fast and Furious.
On the topic of cars, I love all
Toretto.
cars. I don't just love hypercars. I don't just love supercars. I love all cars. I love
Yeah.
trucks.
He has unconditional
Dude,
love for the automotive
unconditional love.
industry.
Bro.
But over the years, it went from a love of cars to a love of driving.
Mm.
And now my love of cars is for the cars that are special to drive.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that could be anything.
Not really. If you look at like a Lamborghini Gallardo, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a special car to drive. It's a Lamborghini. It's not a special car to drive. It's a clunky gearbox. It's
If you got
It's-
the flappy.
I mean, it sounds good. It's a V10, but I mean, like it's not gonna be like a special car with a crazy, unique experience to drive.
Yeah.
Like this car right here, that's a very, very unique experience. And the more unique and kind of, I guess, personal the experience is for you, the better it is.
That's where it's at. Chief.
yeah.
It's like selecting a weapon too, like at a gun
Yeah.
range. You get to find out. Like I found out the sniper is my favorite gun, dude. I didn't
Like a
even know.
rifle.
Yeah, I
Big
thought the
old
AK would
scope.
be, but no.
No,
Just the
AKs
feel of
are
it.
Just a
Trying to
big-
quick scope some
Boom.
fools.
Yeah, dude.
You know what an AK
Feel it.
is? An AK is like the Honda Civic of assault rifles.
Dude, I've thought that for so long. Like that
It
exact
just gets you
reference.
through. It does not break. It just gets you through.
You can literally take that gun, dip it in mud,
Mm-hmm.
and then stick it into a chamber that's just designed, or like a big freezer, right? Let it completely turn into an ice cube. And then all you do is you put the gun out in the sun, let it melt, take it apart, hose it down. Nothing even special. You could probably hose it down just with it being intact. Load a clip in,
That's why it's so special.
put one in the chamber.
That's why
You're
everybody
good to
uses
go.
it.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
why
like there's a
they're so
lot of
low.
guns that you can do that with, though.
Not many, no.
No?
No.
Yeah,
I'm not
you'd
a
be
big gun
surprised.
guy. I don't know too much about guns.
Yeah, you'd be
like
surprised.
you could do that with
We like our
with
guns.
certain Glocks, maybe, and maybe an AR-15. I'm not sure. The reason why the Kalashnikov or the AK-47 is so robust, I guess you can say, and has been used for so long is because its firing mechanism is stupid simple.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's really hard to break those guns. Like, you'd basically have to cut it in half in order for it to go down. But what I meant by any vehicle, it could be anything, right? I mean, yeah, obviously a
As long
Gallardo.
as it's a good driving experience.
That's what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
For example, like the Truno that I brought up.
Mhm.
If you whipped that car anywhere, 99% of people are going to have no idea what you're talking about.
And they'll
or
probably
what
think you're in a shitbox too.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But to you, it's like, this is a great car to drive. I love driving this car. I love this car.
You know what a prime example of that would be? Something like a Miata.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like the Miata in the eyes of the masses, at least here in the United States, it's kind of regarded as, I guess, stereotypically a hairdresser's car. And it's not supposed to be like a fun little sporty coupe like it is, right? Most people don't view it as that. They just say, it's like, you're driving a Miata. Like, really? That's what you got of everything?
Broke boy.
But once you, that's not the case. I mean, you could get other cars that are probably faster in a straight line for cheaper.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
But
here's
the
what's
thing-
funny.
The thing is,
Yeah.
it's a fun sports car. They handle phenomenally. You're not going to break the speed limit in that car.
manual.
Yeah, it's manual.
You can drive it on its limit without
talking about a Miata?
worrying about the speed
Yeah.
limit.
Yeah, I was obsessed with Miatas for a while, and I started looking up it. You know, like you're on YouTube at like 2 a.m. Haha. And you're just browsing through, and you're just like putting like this car versus this car. You
Mhm.
know, you start putting
Dude,
like
the drag
Miata.
races.
Miata just says deuces to a Lambo, and you're like, what the fuck?
What is
You know?
going on?
And you just start watching videos like that, and you're like, dude, Miatas are sick, bro. You can do so much. Just take out all the seats, the trunk space, you know?
Exactly. That's where my passion for cars also came from, is YouTube. And watching every single episode of Top Gear.
Yep.
Yes.
Every single episode of Top
the
Gear.
best episode is the three-wheeled car.
Yes.
Oh, the Reliant Robin.
It's like, oh,
The
shit.
Reliant Robin.
Help!
See, like, that car, it sucks, but it has
Yeah.
a purpose, and it's fun to drive, probably.
Yeah, and it's
because
one of
so
a kind,
scary.
dude.
It's one of a kind.
Yeah.
I would never own one, though, but...
I don't think that thing was designed to really go over 50 miles
Bro,
an hour.
Dude,
Don't-
I would
don't you remember what he
say
said?
10.
No, like actually, I think its top speed.
The
is
strongest
50
point
miles
of
an
this
hour.
car is the handling. Just turns the corner. Dude, it just falls.
It was like
And then they put on the
It
training
fucking
wheels.
skids, too.
you know the reason why they built that car though, right?
Tight spaces.
Well, yes, but
Europeans?
ironically
Transport.
enough,
But hold on, you can
No.
still have four wheels because the back end is still as wide
What the fuck is
That's a
this?
good point.
for spaces. Yeah, but
no, the original purpose was it was for if I remember correctly, poor miners in this one specific area of Britain.
poor miners.
Yeah, like
I'm not
miners needed a
surprised.
mode of transportation to get to and from work.
So they just make the most
And-
dangerous way to do it.
But the thing is, the island where they lived, there
For
was like
miners to
there
hurt
wasn't
themselves.
a lot of people. Like the island was, the population was
Yeah.
small. I mean, it wasn't very big either, so you didn't have to drive fast on this island to like go anywhere, right? So they just picked these cars that were cheap as fuck to make, stupidly cheap to make. They didn't need to go fast. They didn't have to be safe because you weren't going to be driving them very fast. And even if they did roll over, the support or like the frame of the car is strong enough to support
Bro,
it.
that shit is
So
a
it's not gonna
Flintstone
crush
car,
Yeah.
though.
It
Like,
literally
it
is.
I think it has a motorcycle engine,
You would be
and
correct.
that's probably where they got the idea for one front wheel for.
Oh,
Probably. Would be
God.
my
Damn.
guess.
Yes,
it's
that makes a
literally
lot of
dirt
sense.
bike engine.
Yeah,
That's funny.
But if I remember, I think it's rear-wheel drive.
probably.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It would be weird if it was one wheel front drive.
Well, you said like a motorcycle,
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
but then again, motorcycles
Motorcycles
are
are-
front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Touche.
Touche.
That's funny.
So, speaking of special cars to drive,
Yeah. What is your special car?
we're gonna have a little game that we're gonna play.
Oh, drum roll, please.
Get frisky.
So this is a question I'd like to extend to everybody.
I'm not gonna be
In
the
the
first one to
podcast.
answer.
You will.
We'll go this way.
Yes.
All right. Okay. I
Yes.
like that. I like that.
Yes.
So here's like the parameters that I have in my mind. Right.
All right.
Shit.
The game's simple. Right. And it's actually a modified version of, or a semi-modified version of a game that you and I play and some other people play, like on road
It's
trips.
called
and
Dream
stuff.
Garage.
Dream Garage is the game. And you set parameters for how many cars you're allowed to pick. Like, for example, in the car, you can pick like 5 cars that you want.
As you're
and
driving down the road, you
Yes.
choose any 5 cars that you see
Yeah.
in like whatever window of time you guys choose. And then out of those 5 cars, you pick the best 3, 4, whatever it might be, usually 3, to make your dream garage
Mm.
of cars that you've just found on the road.
Yes, and you have to take the car as it is. So that means
Yeah.
the color stays the same, the exact vehicle model that it is. So
I should trademark this game before we put this podcast
should.
live. This is a great game.
All right.
So it's that. It's got to stay the same make. So for example, if it's a E-Class Mercedes, right, but it's like a 450, you have to call it as an E450. It can't be like an E63S just because you saw an E-Class Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
So that's the rule. However, we're going to modify it a little bit for this.
'Cause we're not on
we're
the
not
road.
driving.
We're not on the road, clearly.
Although we should do a podcast where we just drive around and talk in the car.
For next time.
Everybody's
See?
got. What if everybody in like the future, everybody's got shirt mics, and then it's just like
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple camera angles set up throughout the car.
You mean lav mics or lapel mics?
Is that what they're called?
Yeah,
We'll do
shirt
that in our
mics.
Sprinter van. Two
Yeah.
Sprinter
I don't know
van.
what they're called.
Lapel mics.
Lapel. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your area of expertise.
Shirt mics.
production.
So
Hey, what
let's hear
happened
the
to polo
parameters,
mics?
Logan.
So the
Let's get to
parameters
it.
are: you get to pick 3 cars, and I'm actually going to give them specific categories
Sure.
just because it'll make it a little bit easier. You have your weekend car. So this is primarily referred to something that's crazy, more track focused than other stuff, right?
More precious too. Yeah.
More-
Or it's just, it doesn't have to
potentially
be
more-
track focus. It could just be the car that
That you want to drive
you
on the
really
weekend.
want to kind of baby a little bit, but also drive hard when you want to.
Okay.
Typically, aren't those cars usually more track focused though?
Typically, yes, but I'm thinking of one that's not necessarily track focused for my option.
Expand the
Okay.
option.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, category 2, very similar to category 1, but there's a slight difference.
Mhm.
This is your fun car. This is a car that you could daily, right? You could daily
Need
it,
to write
but it
this down.
still has something fun to do. You're really going to forget 3 cars to pick?
No, I just want to be on point.
All right, fair enough.
All right.
So you got the weekend, which is like the typically batshit crazy.
Yeah.
You got the fun daily, and then you just have your normal daily.
Got you.
And we can assign price points to this, or just leave it as
Leave
is.
Leave it as
I got
leave
you,
it as
dude.
is.
I freaking got
Not
you.
too many parameters.
Shit.
Okay. Go for it.
Shit.
Me?
We're starting here, yeah.
I would do an Aston Martin DBS all day.
So
Okay.
what is that? Your
That's my
crazy?
number 1.
That's your
That's my-
weekend crazy car.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 2, Porsche GT3 RS.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Number-
that's your like
yeah.
fun daily.
What year, what model, what trim? You gotta
God
get
damn,
details.
dude.
We
Okay,
need
okay.
details.
Maybe not too many details, but like the newest GT3 RS.
Whatever's the newest and baddest.
I feel like you.
I wouldn't mind a 2020 or 2021, to be
There
honest.
you
Okay,
go.
okay.
Yep.
Now, damn, dude. What trim? Wait, no, sorry. We were,
Yeah. How would you
The
spec
the
it out?
Or the next car.
Like what color do you want it to be?
Dude, I'm an all black. All my cars are gonna be black, dude, for sure.
Triple threat. All
Black
right.
cars matter.
Black cars matter. You know what? I want to wash my baby every day. I like it a little dusty overnight. You know.
5 o'clock dusting.
So what is the third?
The third
You
one
have 2.
is gonna be a completely different one because I will have the experience of those fun, smooth riding cars. Sometimes powerful when I need them to be. A G63 Mercedes.
Okay.
You have been.
I need
talking about that
a
lot.
bumpy ride. I need something that's spacious. I need something that's just
It's a good car.
Yeah.
G63 or
The-
GLE 63 is the question.
G63.
G.
G?
Yeah.
The new G wagons are pretty sweet.
All right.
They have a very nice interior compared to the old ones.
Keep in mind, it's all black in my black house.
Slide's on a black trend right now.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're all-
dude.
you're
We're in all
wearing
black,
right now. Black shirt, black pants, black shoes,
Yeah, that's true,
black
Damn.
microphone.
dude.
All right, Zaid.
Just can't.
Weekend car. 488 Pista.
Aha.
Okay. Now, fun daily. Of course, I have to go for the perf. I'm just going crazy. And then I think as a
It is
normal.
a dailyable car.
Yeah.
So you're not
Yeah.
completely out of left field there.
And the everyday normal one, I would say a Porsche Taycan.
All right.
I think
What
I'd
kind
go
of
there.
Taycan?
Turbo S, baby.
Well,
No other options.
That's the game. He's got to name it.
He answered it for me, Turbo S.
There you go.
All right. Okay.
Even though there's no turbo in the Taycan.
there is not one to be found, except maybe the charging. The fast
Although
charging,
I
if you
will
wanna
say,
count that.
actually,
It's just a battery, dude.
it's a battle between the Taycan and the 2021 RS7.
But you got to choose one.
Yeah.
Though.
I can respect
Dude,
that.
that is such a sick car.
Yeah, that's a great choice.
So I guess on to me now.
Yes, sir.
So I'm
Unless
just
you
going to
wanna
start
go
by
last.
prefacing this with, it changes probably every week.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It changes so often.
I can see that.
But there's a couple that always stay. Actually, one always stays.
I think I know what this is.
and it is a Ford Raptor.
Let's fucking. You belong in a Raptor, dude.
It is a
SVT.
Ford Raptor. That is the one car that, since it first came out, I don't know what year, 2012, whatever it was,
It is so sick.
that has always been like, I need that car. I need that truck. Because I like to travel, I like to drive, do road trips, and that is the perfect road trip car in my opinion.
Dirt bikes in the
You
back.
can tow the dirt bikes, you can tow the boat, you can fit everyone in it, all the luggage. You want to get the big box on the top, you can put a
Love
lot
it.
more stuff in.
God
Climb a
damn.
mountain
you can,
in that
you
car.
can camp out of it, you can climb in it, you can do whatever you want in that car.
Yeah.
It's an adventure car, and I'm an adventurous type of guy, spontaneous type of guy, and that's
Mhm.
a great car
Sweet,
for
sweet car,
my
man.
lifestyle, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Fun day.
Number 2, I would probably say Carrera GT. Right
Ooh.
now,
Solid choice.
Wow.
V10, no traction control, no ABS, manual, rear-wheel drive,
Danger
open
and
top.
exhilaration.
open top. It's got the best of every single world in one car, and it's a Porsche. It's a win. It's a win right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a win
Yeah.
all around.
and I have been in a
Gotta-
Carrera
gotta-
GT,
Love hearing
straight
it.
piped, and it was
Oh
awesome.
my god.
Awesome. The guy was driving it, sliding it all over PCH. It was awesome. Now the last one.
I'm interested to hear this one.
See, here's the thing. If I could, I don't know. It changes. It changes so often.
There's so many.
I'm gonna have to go with Porsche again. Probably either a 911R or a 2012 RS 4.0.
Okay. It's a good choice.
Very interesting.
That is an excellent choice. A 911R would be
And that's
sick.
very particular. Like that's
Yes.
Logan
that's
just
down.
nutted when he said
911R, white with red stripes. That's a proper way to do a 911R.
No green.
Not us, baby.
No.
No.
that.
And then if it was the RS 4.0, it would be black with the gray and red accents on it.
Mm.
Both are 6-speed options, so my both two super sports cars were gonna be manual.
So you had me at
Beautiful.
black.
And then you have the Raptor to drive around every single day. Easy to drive, comfortable,
Yeah.
does the whole job. Oh, I forgot to mention, it would be a Baja Raptor. It'll have the two tires in
Oh,
the back,
yes.
lifted, the widened fenders up front,
Oh my god.
widened fenders in the back, the Toyo tires, the whole deal, light bars,
It just reminds me of a freaking. It reminds me of a shark, dude.
the Shark.
Yeah. If
Alright.
that car was an
It's
animal,
aggressive.
it's aggressive. Like it's
You-
just
you
like
mean maybe not.
like
maybe not
sometimes
like
I'll
a
see it on dude.
Raptor,
No, sometimes
or
I'll see it on the
like-
freeway. Like in my Prius, dude. I'm just like, you see a Raptor coming up, you're like,
Damn, that's a shark.
let's move 3 lanes over. You know.
No.
Let's get over
That
it.
Raptor is
No,
a
Respect.
no. All right, Logan.
I feel like all of them are going to be Porsche for you.
No, actually not.
There's gonna be
In
one,
fact,
though.
Number
no,
1,
actually,
Mini
I was,
Cooper.
I was this close to not even picking one, and in
Shit.
fact, I'm still on the.
That's a sin.
The thing is, it's weird
Sin.
because I'm in a weird place right now in terms of what I would take as a daily.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For my daily, I'm torn between 2 things, and this is not the fun daily. This is just the standard daily. Right. I'm torn between 2 options that are radically different. One of which is a GT3 Touring, the 2017-ish,
Mhm.
right?
My
Big
guy.
flex.
It was that, or a Honda CRZ manual that I would personally like to build. Not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to take the engine. I want to bore the cylinders a little bit. I want to polish up the fucking pistons. I want to just put better lines into it. I'd like to adjust the battery system so it can handle a little bit more juice and a little bit better of a charge.
Interesting.
Clean up the gearbox a little bit. Get rid of the.
Interesting choice, young Scrogy.
I wanted to get rid of all the cable.
Interesting choice.
Wanted to get rid of all the
Scrooge.
cable. What is the word I'm looking for? Inside of the gearbox, or no, not even the gearbox. For the gear selector, they usually use cables, but I'd like to switch them out for the piston. Anyways, I just want to take I wanted to take a car where it's a hybrid, not a plug-in. It's just a standard, kind of like a Prius,
Yeah.
right? But it's manual, so it's fun to drive, right? And it's supposed to be like a sportier Prius. Like that was the whole idea
Yeah.
of them.
like a quick, kind of like a Golf GTI of a Prius. Like just zooming? Is that
Not
what you
even that
is that what you're
fast,
looking for?
no.
What
It's like-
word would you use to describe
Imagine
it?
a half step or one step above a Prius speed, and that's kind of what the CRZ is.
So it's like really fast.
Yeah, it's lightning quick.
Because Priuses are fast.
0 to 60, 2.8 seconds. No, I'm kidding.
Pre-I are fast.
No, I just wanted to take a car that's eco-friendly, clean it up a little bit, and then interior-wise, so that's like where you're sitting, exterior-wise, maybe put a fresh coat of paint on it, just get it detailed, we'll see.
Very particular.
Very.
Because I want a
very
car that's
particular.
eco-friendly, right? But I can also make it fun to drive, and at the same time, I've been reading on forums that these cars can last well over 260,000 miles.
It's clearly thought about it.
Oh yeah. You've done your research.
So my daily's between those two, and I just think in terms of not modifying, if I had to just pick one as they come, I'd probably take the GT3 Touring.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I could modify it like extensively, I would take the Honda CRZ.
Well thought out answer, Logan.
What's your next
Dude.
Well
baby?
thought out.
So for the fun daily, I guess you could say, I would also pick a Raptor. Just because Carson makes really good points. Like, it's practical in the sense of you could do really anything with it.
Yeah, I get that.
I could take it snowboarding, or if I get it built well enough to be a Baja spec, I could go take it jumping in the dunes if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
That car will just be a beast however I need it to be.
Yeah.
It will dominate everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the crazy car.
Mm.
I don't know what he's gonna choose.
I really don't.
I have no idea.
I thought he was going to choose all Porsche.
No. Well, obviously classic Porsches would be fun, right?
Fuck.
Like getting a 964 turbo
Yeah.
or a 930
This guy's a traitor.
would be
but it's all good.
insane.
You've talked about 930
I
turbos
forgot about the
forever.
fucking
I
P1,
love me a good 930. I love 964s because they got booty. They
Mhm.
are thick
Mhm.
from
They
the
got the
back.
booty.
Now, is it only
When you-
3 cars
That's a
allowed?
964 right there.
You are
Yeah,
correct.
for this game, 3 cars allowed.
Damn it, dude.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's hard. It's hard
It
to do.
changes.
I totally
I
forgot
just
about
picked-
the
it always
McLaren
changes.
P1 as well.
I honestly
like-
just thought of the first 3 that came to my mind. I just chose those.
Yeah.
Because I can think of so many other cars. I don't want to tire
That's
myself
why I
out
can
here.
never solidify it because it always changes for me.
Yeah, I get you.
So for crazy,
Yes.
Mhm.
crazy weekend car, that's difficult. That's especially difficult because there's so much shit to choose from now, right?
Of course.
I want to say I want a Chiron, but at the same
Gotta
time,
pick one.
I know that's a bit much. Like even for me, that's a
Mhm.
car I don't think I would like to own. I would just like to drive once or twice.
That's
Realistically,
like the 8th car in your garage.
you see what I'm talking? Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
once you already have like everything, it's like I'll get a Chiron.
Like obviously, it would be nice to own a Chiron or a Chiron.
F it.
Anyway,
Oh my
Corona.
God.
obviously it would be insane if I could own that, but like you said, it's kind of lower down the tier, right? A 918 would be super cool. In fact, yeah, that's what I'm going with. I'd take a 918 as my
918.
crazy car
Okay.
because that's a car that is fuel efficient as shit. It's very economical. It's faster than hell. It's one of the best handling cars ever made, and I get that it's old tech nowadays, at least.
Still stunning,
In terms of the interior, like the infotainment shit, it's a little bit outdated on the inside. But from a driver experience, it's not as crazy as the P1. It might not be as riveting as the LaFerrari, but goddamn it, it is the best.
though. But goddamn.
It
It's
has
a
outperformed.
naturally aspirated 9,000 RPM revving hybrid all-wheel drive Porsche without a
Jeez.
roof. It's a great
Jeez.
option.
It's a fantastic option. My point is, of the trifecta, if I pull up to a racetrack and I'm a good enough driver, I can beat anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll have a great time fucking doing it.
Damn. Good choice.
That's
Cheers.
beautiful
Good
right
choice.
there.
Cheers. I can't argue that.
Yeah.
So you have a 19 GT3 Touring and a Raptor. Raptor. That's a solid garage.
Yeah.
Damn.
Solid garage.
I was gonna, I was before the Aston Martin. I was gonna choose a fucking convertible Crown Victoria.
No, you know
like
what?
Chop top?
Hold the phone. If you get a Crown Vic and you spec it right,
That
that
thing.
can be dope.
That thing. I've
Yeah,
driven
if it has
one.
Black everything and white doors with lights on top. It'll be dope.
Or is it the Buick? Am I thinking of the Buick?
Hold on,
Regal
dude.
as
I've
well?
driven one in Saudi.
Oh my god.
It was a V8. It was a different engine. It was a Porsche engine. I swear to God.
Porsche V8.
Yeah, and this thing had
Crown Vic?
fat wheels that extended outwards. All right, I'm not really a car dude. Like when it comes down to it,
Uh-huh.
you know what I mean. I'm more of a looks kind of guy. Everything has a personality. I believe in that.
Yes.
But that car, dude,
Damn.
you're just hopping on a couch. but the thing is doing fucking donuts all day, baby, without even trying. I'm barely toe tapping it.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, bro, this is like the most fun car. Yeah, they do, and they're all
ride like a couch is on.
Yeah, the rear on it, it's just so like you feel like the weight is on the back.
Yeah,
that's how it feels, and it's insane.
And you know what? That actually raises a good topic, not a debate, but just in general about how Americans are kind of pushing away from sedans and are going more towards crossovers or SUVs right now.
Yeah, that's true.
The American sedan.
This is a coupe.
I understand, but I was talking about the Crown Vic.
Oh, okay.
Coupe, bitch. Like those back in the day, hypothetically speaking, I mean they were fuel inefficient as fuck, but in terms of like cargo space that you have, like they had a shit ton of cargo space.
Oh yeah.
Their trunks were enormous. Their back seats enormous. The
You
driving
fit multiple people in there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Dude, we used to sit like 4 or 5 people in the front. Like my dad had like an old like Buick or Oldsmobile or something. I forgot what it was. But then I remember the back end of it had the seats. It was a 3-row seat facing the other way. So that when you're sitting there, it's like an entertainment center.
This thing is $140K.
Yes, an 87 Buick Regal, if they're specced out right, they are sick.
Jesus.
Like, maybe not to everybody, and I'm sure my dad would roll over, not in his grave, but he would just slap me when I go home if I told him that I thought an 87 Buick Regal was dope. But
Dude,
like,
you saw
if
Jay
they're
Leno,
specced
right?
Oh my God.
Jay Leno did a whole episode on that car.
People turn those into like crazy drag cars.
Dude,
Yeah,
those things are just like lifted.
Yeah.
Just lifted up whenever they're torquing.
3.8 liter.
Call it
turbo
twerking.
V6.
I have a question for you. What is the scariest car you've driven?
That's a great question.
Scariest car I've driven would probably, Pagani.
Pagani.
I think I actually know which one, and I'm trying to find a
Why?
photo of it.
I don't want to sound like a hater. I love Paganis.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like the way that the car felt while driving it. It felt a little bit disconnected.
Ooh. Big claims.
And it was a Huayra Roadster, and I was with Adam Bornstein at the time. Guess whose car it was? It was Mike's.
Yeah.
It was this one, right?
No, it
No?
was if you go up, it's the full carbon with green accents.
Disconnected how so? Is it more just a feeling or?
It's a feeling thing. I mean, it's very sharp. It didn't feel like
This one.
how I expected it. Yeah, it was that car right there.
Ooh.
It didn't feel like how I expected it to feel. Like I've been in the Koenigsegg that's right there as well. It's a lot more rigid, aggressive. Rigid is a good way to put it, honestly.
Yeah.
It didn't feel as like rigid as I thought it would. Felt a little
Loosey
soft.
goosey.
So are you saying Pagani could do less with focusing on the interior, at least the look of the car, and more on the drive?
They could, yes, but that's what Pagani's known for. Their art. It's a piece of art.
It's
Yeah.
true.
It's
true.
a
That
very
you can drive.
It's a very fast, fun, great driving piece of art. And between the two, like Pagani and Koenigsegg, you compare them as Koenigsegg is a work of engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Pagani is a work of art.
Gotcha.
Mm.
So, in a sense, if you were to compare them to major auto manufacturers, Pagani is like Ferrari, and Koenigsegg is like Porsche.
Oh.
I'm not saying Ferrari.
Ferraris
I'm not
are
saying
very
Ferrari.
good driving cars.
I was trying
Yeah,
to say
yeah.
Ferrari's cars aren't bad to drive by any means. However, they do put a little bit more emphasis on the looks.
Absolutely. I mean,
Mhm.
the
Over
911's
Porsche.
been around for however many years it is now.
They've taken how many years to
They've
perfect
just,
one
they
car?
keep perfecting the same car, whereas Ferrari keeps building more beautiful masterpieces. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Kind of like Koenigsegg, right?
I mean, in a way, they've kind of perfected the same car, but it's also completely different because they keep. Koenigsegg is honestly an engineering company, less than a car company. They have over 300 patents to the name Koenigsegg,
Damn.
Yeah.
and they use almost all of them probably on the car itself.
Hmm.
Sorry, I was just pulling up one of the
Asynchronous.
if I remember correctly, this is what they're called, but well,
For the Koenigsegg doors,
yeah, Koenigsegg doors, they have a system which I
Oh,
thought was
yeah,
called
I
the
do. For
asynchronous.
some
Fucking
reason,
doorknob
I am
shows up.
Looks like the Stew's
blanking on the name
doorknob.
of it.
Stew's doorknob. So ideally, okay, this I'm curious to see what your answer is on
Mhm.
this.
Oh, sorry.
Everything works out perfectly. Where do you see yourself, at least in terms of the car industry, in like 10 to 15 years?
If everything works out perfectly, I'm still hosting events. I'm still hosting drives. I'm
Mhm.
still kind of like me and my buddy Logan who runs 70 Mile Saturday.
Yeah.
We're kind of like a glue to part of a car scene that's in our area.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we connect a lot of drivers together. We connect a lot of people together, and I mean that's what I love to do right now.
Yeah, that's priceless.
Right now,
yeah.
but I mean in the future that obviously could change, but I would still love to be doing that in some way or another and kind of being a glue to a car community.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the community is a key word.
Mhm.
Love
It's
it.
down.
Community, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because it's about the cars, but it's more about the people.
Mm-hmm.
Who's behind the wheel?
I like that. I like community because it gives you like, you know, everyone comes from a different place
Mhm.
and sometimes your headspace isn't right, but you always know that that's your space.
Exactly. And like
You want it to
we've
be
done a
good
lot
people and
of
comfortable.
early morning drives, and you get so many different types of people on these drives.
Mhm.
But the one thing that everybody has in common is that they love cars and they love to drive.
Mm-hmm.
So once you're out there on the roads with everyone, everything goes away. It's just we're here, we're driving our cars, we're having fun, having some
Yeah.
good food,
If that isn't
seeing some
present,
good views.
I don't know what is, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part of the car community is that everyone loves the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's
I 100%
how
feel
everybody gets along is because of that.
I 100% feel
Yeah.
that. That's like me taking a cinematography class. I'm just like, come on, let's make a movie.
Let's make a movie.
We're all here
Come
for the
on.
same
Dude,
reason,
yeah.
you know?
Literally, yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get you.
Well, the reason we're all here is because of the 2 a.m. podcast. Thank you very
Aha!
much
It's true.
All
for
right,
joining
guys.
us once again. Saeed,
Yes,
Would you
I
like
will
to
close
fill
this
them in?
off. So make sure to, first of all, follow Carson_Smith. I'm going to post his tag somewhere up here. And then, if you can follow us on YouTube, subscribe, like, leave us a comment. You can also DM us on Instagram at the 2 a.m. podcast. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And tune in to episode number 70. Until next time.
Big 7.
any special last minute shout outs you'd like to give?
Just gotta say thank you guys for having me on the show.
We love
you
you,
guys
man.
you guys some good people.
We love you, dude, and we support all your work, man. It's
Support all
crazy
your work.
stuff.
We're looking
Thank
forward
you.
to having you on each 69.
Yes. Make it a thing.
There ever was. Okay. All right, guys. Well, you know the deal. 1, 2,
A
3,
1,
2,
2,
3,
4.
and follow my lead. Peace.